Jason Lamm, how about, this isn't a legal insanity defense. What if this jury, though, does believe that there is some mental illness, personality disorder? Are they more likely to cut her a break?
Well, what the defense is really playing for, Vinnie, is jury nullification. And you're right on the money. This is not an insanity defense. In Arizona, we recognize a guilty except insane defense. So in so many words, they would have to prove, the defense would have to prove, that Tammi Smith was affected by a mental illness such that she couldn't appreciate the difference between right and wrong. But in this case, she has pled not guilty. She's not admitting anything. Where would the mental health come into play? If she were convicted and the judge opted to consider it as mitigating evidence, evidence that would reduce her sentence or her exposure when that day comes.
Dee joins us from Pennsylvania today. Good afternoon, Dee.
Hi, Vinnie.
Hello. So what do you think of Tammi Smith?
Well, I believe Tammi Smith is so self-absorbed that she believes she's a master at controlling situations, and that's evidenced by her call to the judge and also her attempts to control the police investigation. And I think she's still shocked at her failure to control Elizabeth Johnson and what happened to Gabriel. So I'm not surprised by her decision to take the stand and testify, because I believe that she thinks that she'll be able to manipulate and control that courtroom.
Dee, thank you for the call. Thanks so much for watching. Here's what I'm hearing. Arrogant, personality disorder, mentally ill, self-absorbed, not necessarily positive impressions that Tammi Smith has given so far. So based on that, I think she has to take the witness stand at this point to try to turn that around, because if the 13th juror is thinking that way, I got to think a bunch of those jurors inside the courtroom are thinking the same way. Pat is in Illinois. Good afternoon, Pat.
Hello, Vinnie.
Hey, so what do you think of Tammi Smith?
Well, I've been watching her when the camera's on her, and I think she's got that smirky smile on her face that she's thinks she's going to get off, or, that the jury's in her favor.
And do you see that as arrogance?
Yeah. And I think she's got that smirk.
The smirk.
A smirky smile on her.
Yep. Pat, thanks so much for the call. Hey, Jason Lamm, Mike Brooks was talking a lot about the nonverbals. Well, a smirk on your face. Do you tell your client, listen, wipe the smirk off?
Well, you tell your client just to play it straight all the way, not to shake your head, not to smirk. And you're right, she is coming off as arrogant. Last Thursday she Detective Ramirez testified that in the interview, Tammi said that the detective was unfair and that the detective was abusing her. Now, let's get something straight. People like cops. Generally speaking, jurors are going to like cops. Detective Ramirez comes off very professional, very credible. She even said, hey, we just want to know where the baby is. The baby gets turned into a law enforcement agency. This is over. We're out of here. But at the same time, then Tammi goes and sends out a text message that says that the FBI had her tied up in a chair for 4 hours. It's that arrogance, it's that narcissism when it's coupled with the nonverbals, and it gives the very, very same message to the jury that, like I said, it's making it really hard for them to bond with her, especially knowing that she's going to testify. She's going to have 2 strikes against her when she gets on that witness stand, having so much out of her mouth already before she's even taken an oath.
All right, don't try to talk her out of it, though, Jason. We want to see it. Hey, people do love cops, right? That's why Mike Brooks is so popular. Look at Mike. People love cops. They just do.
Hey, you just can't help yourself, can you?
All right, let's take a look at what's happening inside the courtroom right now. We expect testimony to resume any moment. There it is, the Great Seal of the state of Arizona. We will take you back in live when the testimony resumes, and you'll see it all right here on In Session, your front row seat to justice.